Good afternoon. I'm pleased today to speak to Mr. Jos Ubels, Vice President of Farmers Defence Force, and the organization who is representing majority of Dutch farmers. It's a very dynamic organization which protects farmers' rights in the Netherlands. So a wave of protests are spreading across Europe, and the Netherlands is also affected by it. So why the Dutch farmers are protesting, Jos?
Well, first of all, we started protesting in 2019. Huge groups of farmers going to the streets, going to the capital, or not actually the capital, but the political capital of the Netherlands, The Hague, to protest against the government and their legislations. They are trying to get rid of farmers. They are trying to get the fields that we own. They are trying to get rid of the animal population of the Netherlands, and there is no use for it. It's weird, and it's very bad for the Netherlands.
By protesting, did you manage to achieve something? Did you get anything thanks to demonstrating?
Yes, of course. I think protesting, before we protested the first time, I was always thinking that protesting and demonstrations were for people without a job. Because many times in my youth, I saw people from Greenpeace or whatever just protesting for something, for their ideals. And I was always thinking, okay, maybe I should just work and do my job. But eventually we tried protesting once as farmers because we were pushed in a corner so harshly. And it appeared that we are just a minority in the Netherlands. We are less than 2% of the population of the Netherlands. And if we want to get heard by the media and get heard by the public and by the politics, we have to shout loud. And demonstrations are a very strong tool for this. And you can use your voice and use the media, so you can talk about your problems and about the problems that the government is opposing to the farmers. And I am seeing that politicians, especially in times of elections, are very vulnerable for demonstrations because they don't want to lose the majority of the people because they vote for them or not. So I think we very effectively use this a lot.
Did you manage to get any changes in your legislations?
Well, first of all, legislation changes are sometimes minor, sometimes major, but the biggest thing that we achieve is a political earthquake, because now you see that right-wing parties and even the Farmers' Party that is founded after protests, the BBB, is one of the bigger parties of the Netherlands. And this is quite funny, actually, because if you count up all the farmers in the Netherlands, it's only close to 50,000 farmers. And for one seat in the chamber, you need 70,000 people. So theoretically, if all the farmers would vote for the political Farmers' Party, the BBB, they wouldn't even have one seat in the chamber. But now they have a huge amounts of seat in the chamber, because a lot of people from the countryside and people in the city, they support farmers. And through the protest, we show our problems, and the population of the Netherlands is supporting this by voting differently. So this is a huge difference.
On 4th of June, the European farmers are planning to do the joint ventures at the protest in Brussels. Why do you think it's important to make sure all the farmers from Europe are meeting together and demonstrating in Brussels?
Well, first of all, of course, every country had their success. You know, in Germany they had some success, in Poland they had some success, but we are very happy that we have this political earthquake in the Netherlands, because now things are looking brighter, because we get a different people in power, and different people can always do different things. So there is a chance that it will be better in the future for the farmers of the Netherlands. And this happened through protesting. So we are now hoping that this will spread throughout Europe, and this joint venture in the 4th of June will make a political earthquake in Den Haag. In Brussels, because from 6 till 9 you have the European elections, and if we want to show that the farmers are oppressed and have lots of troubles, we have to show this to the wider audience so they can vote differently even in the European elections, and then we can have our second success.
If we have the second success, and so then what solutions should the European Union actually introduce to ensure the food security for Europeans?
First of all, we need a certain base of farmers in Europe. We have very good quality soil in Europe. We have very high standards for farming in Europe. So we need to support and back up our farmers, because they are quitting farming every day. Lots of farmers are quitting their job, are quitting their companies, their farms. They are shutting down, and this is actually because of legislation, because of European Union. And European Union has a lot of ideas founded by idealistic way of thinking, and we should go back to realistic way of thinking, not idealistic way of thinking. Because it's nice to have your ideals, but you always should be realistic about them. And we can see what, for example, energy from abroad, what kind of risk this brings when during war with Russian gas. We see the huge damage that it done to our economies, and at the same time huge risk that we were taking. Elder people in the Netherlands couldn't warm their houses because there was just a shortage of gas. But it's quite weird, because we have one of the biggest gas bubbles in Europe in the Netherlands, but we sold this to different countries, and at the same time we imported Russian gas. Well, this is a very good example, because this is what's going on with food right now. We are making Mercosur trades, we are talking about CETA, we are talking about a lot of international trade agreements with countries outside of Europe. But this makes us very vulnerable, because the production we have ourselves is very stable and very high quality. So why get rid of your main production and buy elsewhere? It's stupid.
Thank you very much, Jos, for your time.